you can be doing, 70, 80 mile an hour down the highway and it's in eco mode on 40s. I'm Jason with RSG Off-Road in Lakewood, Colorado, and this is the first solid axle fit gen. We started this build in 2016. We cut up this vehicle with less than 5,000 miles on it, and it was purpose bought. That's why we bought it. The truck was built to do 80 mile an hour on the highway as a daily driver, or you could take it wherever you want and do basically any obstacle you want to do with it. It has a Spider Trax front housing with 513 gears, ARB locker. It's a high pinion 9. It's got trail gear, outer hubs that we machined the factory reluctor ring on to retain the ABS system. It has a Curry rear housing in it. We paired it with custom Keen coilovers all the way around. They're 12-inch coilovers. To fit everything up front and give us the travel that we needed, we had to raise the engine up 1.5 inches. It does have onboard air from ARB. We did a reverse triangulated setup in the rear, which is very rare. Not a lot of people do that. Has a decent amount of drive shaft play, and I think that's why a lot of people stay away from it, but it works well for us. We've never had any issues with it. Has a Magnuson supercharger on it. We were one of the first people to get one. We were part of their pilot program. After we installed the supercharger, it kind of sounded like 100 PSI through a straw. So we wanted to put better exhaust on it. We did Doug Thorley full headers, 3-inch custom exhaust all the way back. There's no cats. And I think it has a resonator on it. It rumbles pretty good. It's got chromoly shafts, RSG armor as far as sliders and bumpers. The front bumper was a custom built bumper that we built in-house that we don't produce, but we might produce at some point. The rear bumper was something that we threw together just kind of on a whim, and it came out pretty cool. And we cut out the rear cross member and just welded this one in. It's got a full hydro setup from Howe in it, so it's got a Howe box. It's got a hydraulic ram. You can steer it at a dead stop with your pinky. When you put it in 4-wheel drive, there are no warning lights or trouble lights or check engine lights or any of that stuff. Everything works exactly like it's supposed to. We tricked it and retained the ADD module from the front differential, so it thinks it's still normal. It's got a few other neat things, iPad in the dash, got a full digital audio system. It also has a 360 view camera system in it that has your turn signals turn on whichever way you're going, so you can see next to you just because it's big. And you can also see kind of like a bird's eye view of the whole vehicle on the screen if you'd like. So the original deal I made with everybody at work was it needs to be reliable, it needs to be comfortable, and it needs to outwheel my Rubicon that pretty much could go anywhere. When people build solid axle Toyotas, they don't always complete the job. And what I mean by that is they don't get all the systems to work properly when they're done. Almost every solid axle swap vehicle I've seen has lights on, has issues, has things that don't work, doesn't have a front drive shaft, things like that. This is definitely something in the beginning that we wanted to make sure that we had all of our bases covered, and we weren't even going to build the truck unless we knew for sure that everything was going to work. We actually laid out the wheel bearing stuff on the ground on a multimeter and measured everything to make sure that what we were going to do in theory would actually work in reality. This isn't something that we were going to build out of a junkyard or use parts on, stuff like that. It's definitely something that we had a plan for each and every part. And I'd say the total we have invested in this car, including the vehicle, is just a little over $100,000. That price is mostly just in parts. You can wrap up a lot of money just in labor building something like this. We built this car in 2016, and I haven't done any publicity with it because I've been enjoying it the whole time. It's not something that sits in the garage all the time. It's definitely something that we get out and use. So obviously this thing's a bit of a unicorn. There's a lot of people that think it's not real, or it's not what we say it is, or it's photoshopped. So that's why we took it out to Moab.